Guys, I had a bunch of comments on my last button lock video, which was, what are my favorite button locks? So I went through all the stuff I have here and I picked out my 6 favorite budget button lock knives. You're gonna see some stuff that you've seen in some recent videos, but it's because they're such good knives. So let's turn this around and look at these amazing knives. Guys, like I said in the intro, we are going to look at 6 of my favorite button lock knives that have been released lately. So we're going to start right here with this one. So this is the CJRB Riff, and I picked this one because I think this is the coolest looking one of the new budget button locks that came out. Now, you're going to notice that there are a couple companies that are repeated in here. CGRB has done a lot of great button locks, so I think you're going to see more than one, and then Kaiser as well. But this is a very attractive knife that has got some definite tactical lines to it. It's got a very good feel in hand. The button lock action on it is amazing. Nice flipper on this. Micarta handles with just non-lightened liners in this that gives it a good hefty feel. Nice balance, just about a neutral balance. The button on this is incredibly good. The button lock action is great. You can flip it like that. Now, the nice thing about button locks, completely ambidextrous. So they've provided you with an ambidextrous pocket clip that is a deep carry pocket clip that I do not dislike. On this knife, it sits just about perfect. The blade on this in ARRPM 9 comes down to a beautiful blade profile. And then you have this fuller that runs the entire length of the blade that gives it a nice, attractive look. You definitely can flick off of that right or left-handed. This is just one of the best knives that CGRB has done. The ARRPM 9 is a good choice of steel on this because it's easy to maintain, easy to sharpen, and it holds up as far as corrosion. Then, like I said, just beautiful on this. And you got a big smiley face here. It's happy about being in the video. So if you haven't checked one of these out, I will have links to all these knives down below. But I think that this is one of the coolest looking ones. And then when it comes down to the handle shape, nice and straight here, it thins out here and then drops in. It's a lot like the Arius and how the grip drives you down into a stable platform for cutting. So there you go. There's your first one, the CJRB Riff. Let's move on to the next knife. It's another knife with a smile on its face. It is actually it's more shocked, I believe. This is the Kaiser Begleiter XL, and this is the best version of the Begleiter that I've handled. I had this plus the mini. I had the regular size. This is the XL. Absolutely love this. This is one of my favorite knives that they have ever done. Beautiful orange or brown micarta on this. The button lock action on this, just phenomenal. Reverse flick off of the thumb stud action. Unique looking flipper tab on this that gives it a cool line. In hand, excellently comfortable. 154 cm blade on this that just takes a screaming edge. Beautiful blade shape on this. Nice long drawn blade. It is a long and it's a big knife. It is a long knife, but you don't feel out of sorts. Sometimes a knife can just feel like it's too long. The way it feels in hand, just incredible. In and out of pocket, it's a dream. It's not too wide, so it carries well in pocket. Pocket clip allows you to carry it fairly deep, and just like the last one, completely reversible. Lots of weight reduction in the scale, so this is a very light carry for such a large knife. And then, like I said, just everything about it is just incredible. I love the fact that they give you long jimping on this, which is fairly functional, so you can get way up on that blade. Everything about this knife is just possibly the best version of this knife. This is one of my knives that gets so much pocket time that anytime I'm going to film, I have to clean it. I absolutely do. The micarta on it is perfectly executed. It's not too slick. It's not polished up. It gives you that tactile feel and grip on this without being overly aggressive and posing problems with in and out of pocket. And this comes with both the satin and black button when you order it. I think these were on White Mountain knives, but I'll put links to this down below. So let's go ahead and bring out the next knife. And I'm not going to go real long on this one because you guys just saw this one, but this is the button lock version of the Ferma Forge Stinger. This is the first button lock that the boys have done. This thing is great. So it takes a knife that was already good and turns it into a great button lock. It's nice and light because these are thick pieces of carbon fiber. You can absolutely reverse flick off of the fuller. And in hand, this thing is just amazing. The blade profile is great. It's a Nitro V, so it is a knife that will take a very good edge because it's a razor blade steel. The feel in hand on this, because it's got this knife's curvature, gives you a great feel overall. It's a full 4-finger grip, good jimping on this. The blade allows you to do a lot of versatile cuts because it is radiused, but it's still straight enough that you can do some of the things you would do on a Wharncliffe because it's not like a very heavy curved blade. You can get clear up on that forward finger choil and use it as a full choil. You don't have to worry about it in a pinch grip because when you're going to pinch this knife, the way it sits in your hand, you're off of the button. Just everything about this knife came out great. Don't even hate the pocket clip. And I do love the fact that they used a clamshell design on this because it gives you less overall hardware. So plus they gave you a full inlay on both sides of the knife. Sometimes people will do a smaller inlay on the interior, on the lock scale. Not at all on this one. So there you go. Ferrum Forge Knife Works Stinger button lock. Let's move on to the next one after you guys hear from a sponsor. Guys, this is a knife I don't think got enough attention. This is the CJRB Logo. So this thing is absolutely a great knife. You see, I use it a lot still. Mine is a prototype. I've given 3 of these away on the channel. It's not the most attractive knife they make, and I think that's the problem. This thing is beautifully comfortable in hand. The blade shape is just about perfect for cutting. You have got a flipper and a huge reverse flick aperture. The detent on these were insanely good. I think that the Logos had some of the best detent of any of the CGRB button locks. Once again, reversible pocket clip, which is another one of those nice broad at the back, skinny at the front pocket clips that I love, that is deep carry. So I can still carry this deep carry, but it's not uncomfortable in hand. It absolutely feels amazing in hand. It almost disappears. The blade shape on it, while it's not the most, like, a lot of people don't like it, I find it to be very attractive. And another knife with a full forward finger choil, so it makes that knife easier to maintain. It's not quite a drop point. I don't know how to classify this blade. Nice handles on this that, once again, drop you down in. It's one of the things I said about the Riff, drop you down into the cut. It feels really secure. Does not at all feel like this knife is going to come out of your hand. And you can choke way up on it and get your finger on the spine of that and do some sweeping cuts around stuff, and then limit the amount of knife you're putting in. So if you're trying to limit like how deep you're cutting into something, that is a great blade shape and blade design when it comes down to that really radiused spine. So there you go. The CJRB Logo, one of the knives that definitely should have gotten more attention. So I just like to bring it out anytime I can. So let's move on to the next knife. And it's a knife that you've seen in a lot of videos as well. It is the Kaiser Original. And this is a knife that Jared recommended to me. When I got it, I was like, wow, this is really good. This is a nice, small little button lock. I think this is the smallest of the button locks on this video. 154 cm blade done in a drop point. It's a very classy looking knife. Mine is in copper and 154 cm. The button lock on it is so good. It is nice and rounded over. It sits just perfectly in that pocket. So you don't have to worry about bumping it. When it's closed, it's completely flat. The thumb studs are just the right height so that you can thumb flip and reverse flip off of it, and the action on it is not quite drop shut. Well, it is when you deploy the button, but it's not the drop shut that you would expect because it's a light blade. I love the way this feels in hand, even though it does have a tail heavy balance. This copper is starting to pick up a nice snail trail and pocket wash look to it. And the fact is they did an incredible job reducing a lot of the overweight that you would have in this knife because they milled all those pockets out. So great overall design. This comes in a lot of different form factors. You can get all kinds of different ones. It's the same with all the knives. They come in different colors, different styles. That's the nice thing about some of these budget button locks is there is a broad variety. So let's turn us around and get to the next knife. And I think you knew this was coming. It's the CJRB Echo. This is the best of that new line of button locks they have. This also does come in a liner lock version though. So just can't go wrong with this. The reason it's my knife of the year pick so far is it just hits all the bells and whistles. It's a good quality knife, beautiful blade shape. The action on it is insane. Multiple ways of deployment, how it feels in hand, how it carries. This thing is just all around one of the best knives, and at the price, such a good value. ARRPM 9 steel on a very distinct blade shape on this, designed by Ray Laconico. Absolutely gorgeous. I have one that I carry. This is reserved for using in videos. I have one that I carry and use. It's not this one. The way it feels right here where these handles come down, they've got a very unique look. They are pretty straight across and then have this cant to it, but it drops the blade down into an angle. And then once you're up in that finger choil, it is just about the best angle to address the cut. The blade is radiused pretty much from heel to tip, but it's still straight enough that you can get a lot of work in on this quarter of the blade. And then if you want to get around something, you can do your sweeping cuts with the radiused area. Nicely done blade that has enough piercing power to do a lot of the things you want, but not aggressively thin where you're going to puncture through things too far. And it's another one of those knives you can get way up on, you get clear up here, and you can limit the amount of blade you're puncturing through. So you're doing some clean cuts if you needed to. Just an all-around awesome blade shape. The reverse flick aperture on this is just about perfect. It's one of the things that they took off this knife and put it on another great knife, which is their Warrenclyffe Pyrite. Absolutely love these knives. And this has got option for a lanyard, but without an ugly lanyard hole. That is one of the coolest things that some of these companies have been doing. So there you go. That was 6 of my favorite button lock knives. Let's turn us around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day. I have to say, CGRB and Kaiser have just really killed it with the amount of very good budget button locks. We're talking stuff that's in or under $100, in the $100 range. And they're great. You're not seeing like crappy button locks like you used to. Button locks used to be historically bad. So I just thought we'd throw that out. This is in response to some comments that I had on a video I filmed a while ago. So these are just my favorites. There's more out there. I have the entire Pyrite series here. I have several other button locks here, but those ones are just the ones that really stand out. So there you go, guys. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. You don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Please tell me why. If you didn't, I can't change that content. If you don't, tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, sponsors. I know I threw a sponsor in somewhere. You can go find those sponsor links down below. Doll Strong Knives, Tempered Trail, Coffee Brand Coffee. Coffee Brand Coffee and Tempered Trail have got discounts built into their links. I've got a bunch of, there's also a coupon code for those two. And you can use that at Rosecraft Blades and Ferrum Forge Knife Works, and that coupon code is crazy sharp, all one word. So Coffee Brand Coffee, Tempered Trail, Rosecraft Blades, and Ferrum Forge Knife Works. I've got a bunch of affiliate vendors down below. Blade HQ, Knives Ship Free, GP Knives, all the big ones down there, and then a bunch of like Vosteed, Civivi, Sencut, all that stuff. I have got an Amazon store. Take that link, pin it to your browser. Use those links I just mentioned to do any shopping you do. If you're going to buy knives, go to my affiliates. If you're going to buy stuff on Amazon, use my link, pin it to your browser. And then I have a membership where everyone has access to the private Discord. I do giveaways for specific tiers. I do exclusive content. There's a sharpening tutorial series for the top tier of members. And I have built a public Discord that is open to everyone. There's a link to it down below. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. I'll see you in the next video. And up here is going to be a video that YouTube thinks you like, and over here is going to be a link to a video I want you to watch.